What's up guys, Jeep and Bubba here, and today we are doing a recovery / winch class at my shop. And if you're thinking about maybe doing it in the future, let me give you insight to what it's like. Cool. Alright, welcome to the winch class, recovery class. I'm going to go over basically all the pieces I use in my recovery kit. I was looking at this, there is a specific time that you're gonna want to use each piece, and knowing that if you've got a winch and that's your only recovery method, that's gonna be your best recovery method. But if you happen to have a kinetic or a flat strap, it kind of opens up, more doors to how you can do recoveries. And I'm always thinking, what's the safest way for the person, the people, the vehicles? What's gonna be the most effective tool? But whatever gets you out at the end of the day is great. So this is going to be your most common essential thing that anybody would see. This is called a D-ring or a bow shackle. Australians call it bow shackles, we mostly call them D-rings. A really important thing about these is to make sure after they're used a while that this piece right here is not bent out. That's when they're starting to go and you might need to replace them. You want to always be pulling directly on the front of these, not against the side of it, because as it bends out, then it's going to lose its integrity and it's going to go. And the rating should be on it for the tonnage, how much you're going to be able to basically put weight wise on it. When I'm recovering and I'm attaching a strap, I want to go basically to about right there, not all the way where I'm like cranking it down, because if you crank it down by hand and you've got a strap on there, you're going to need a wrench or a pair of pliers or something to get it back off. Now if you keep these on your vehicle like Lee does, he uses a wrench to make sure it's cinched down good, because they will walk off on you on your vehicle from vibration or just sticky fingers, something like that. So just something to keep in mind, and it's plenty safe just having it nice like that. And these are cheap, so I mean you can replace them unless you're getting a really high-end one like a Crosby. I mean usually these are 15-20 bucks. So when I use these, it's strictly attached to the vehicle and that's it. I never use it any other time. And what I mean by that is I would only use them attached to a metal bumper, not to connect another rope. And I'll show you what I mean in the back by that. But the only time I'm using them is when they're connected directly to a vehicle. The kind of the newer thing that a lot of people are seeing is soft shackles. And so this is basically the same as your D-ring here. But obviously this is not going to work as well in the bumper. Some of them have sleeves so they could go in there, but then you've got these sharp edges in there, so that's not great. You could go, if this is locked on, you can't get it off, you can have two. I wouldn't, because that's just an extra failure point. I'd go your rope directly to this. But these are great for connecting ropes. So let's say my 30-foot strap isn't long enough. Instead of me putting a metal bow shackle D-ring in the middle, then I'll use a soft shackle to connect the two. You could loop two ropes on each other, but after you pull, now that thing's like impossible to disconnect, where this works great. And they just work by putting snatch blocks. We'll go over this when we do the winching kind of portion of it, but this is going to help you either change the angle that you're winching, or it's going to help you double up your power. So this right here, if I hook this to the tree and hook the rope back to the bumper, now we've just doubled the winching strength that we're getting by using it as a pulley system. And I did just grease this. It'd be a 30-foot flat strap. They're rated by their thickness. So this one has got two strands here, and how wide they are. The wider they are is typically how much more weight they can handle. You could use these as a tree saver. So right now I have a tree saver on that tree, and what a tree saver is so we're not wrapping the line around the tree, which would damage the tree and damage your line. So we want to use a strap around the tree. That one's 6 foot. It's made specifically to be a tree saver. That's not going to work on all trees in all places. You're in some areas the trees are way bigger. Also, why would you use a tree saver and not just always have a 30-footer? If I put this on, I've now limited how far I can winch to the tree. So we've lost that amount of area. You could double the lineup, but it becomes a pain. So I like having both. but I can't pull anyone out with that at 6 foot. They're gonna run in the back of my Jeep. So this would be like kind of the multi-use. Where this fails and is not great is if someone's sunk in mud. So if someone's stuck in mud, you're gonna need to get some momentum going. You're gonna need to pull them, snatch them out. You could pull them with this, but you're gonna need to get it taut. That's gonna be the safest thing to do, get it nice and tight and try to give them a little forward momentum. But if they're not moving, putting slack in it, taking off, this thing will explode. It's not safe. It's putting a lot of stress on your bumper, and it's putting a lot of stress on the other person's recovery point as well. So that's where this kinetic comes in. This is just like a bungee cord, and you can see I kind of push, and this thing has got some give in there just like that. So this one, you don't get taut. You leave as much slack as you can get in there, and you take off as fast as you feel comfortable with. And what it does is it stretches out, and as it stretches, all the kinetic energy builds up and pulls the person out. It doesn't feel bad on your end. It's pretty gentle, and it's actually pretty gentle on their side too, but it uses that momentum. What's real important when you're setting up your tree saver is the height that it's set up at. So I could run it right now all the way to the base, and that'd be the safest thing for the tree. I mean, this tree's gonna be pretty strong and looks good, but if it was a smaller diameter tree, bottom would be great. Where the problem may be is if he's up a hill, now we're pulling his front end down. Maybe there's rocks in between us, so we need to get it up. There's situations where you're stuck in the mud. How high can I get it up? This one's pretty strong, so I might can put the line as high as I can reach, and now it's pulling the front bumper up. It's helping us to get it up out of the mud. It's helping. So if that's a good example. See, it's not locking all the way in. So go back to the preschool, let me pull a little bit, now try it. See? So some people are like, oh, it's broke, it's broke. Actually, it's just at a point where the gear does a little lock. So you just need to move it a little bit, and then it'll lock in. Now hers is wireless and wired, so you can hook up a wire right here to that. That actually also charges that because you keep the battery inside. Lock over and over, you're pushing all your weight on it. It starts getting hot, and it quits wanting to work. You make 10 frozen margaritas in a row, your blender starts smelling weird. Like you're just burning up electric motor.
You gotta remember, that's what the electric motor was shut down to save itself.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anywhere around that is 2 blenders or 2
That's right. Or gas powered blender. All right, we just got done with the winch class. I think everything went well. If you plan on wanting to do one of these in the future, we're going to offer it again in about 2 months. Shoot us an email at info@Black Bear Off-Road, and we will post in the Black Bear Trail team next time we're offering one. Until then, I hope there's an adventure in your future. Eat your prunes, and we'll be seeing you.